Hello, good evening everybody. Welcome to round number 10 of the North American Grand Prix Monday Night Formula Masters Series, coming to you live from Vallelunga, located somewhere in Italy, and a very technical circuit. Looking forward to this event. It's going to be a doozy, as the last several races have been. Expecting some great action here tonight, but before we get any further, let me welcome my broadcast partner for the night, Brad Maris. Welcome.
Thanks, Al. Yeah, hey, I like this track, man. Look, it's kind of a tale of two tracks. You're right. It has some very technical sections, like the last half of the track. The first half of the track is just kind of like a flat-out blast, some high-speed sections in there. And some places where you really have to take some chances and kind of throw it in there and hope it sticks. Let's not forget, Al, that if I'm not very much mistaken, Nunez did much of their real-world testing and talking to race teams here at Vallelunga. So this is, I think, one of the jewels that they like to stick into their crown. They think they've got this one just about exactly perfect. So Nunez, in my opinion, has got this one right. I love this place.
Yeah, this is where their home base. This is where they're based out of, this track. Cars are rolling out now. Let's take a quick look at the track map for tonight's race. You can see 15 corners, as Brad mentioned. The first two sectors pretty straightforward, but come sector 3, that's when things get very, very technical and tricky. That turn 13 and 14, very difficult chicane section there, very high curbing, upsets the car, and turn for 15, like Brad said, important to get a good exit out of that corner for a solid lap time. So cars are just starting to roll out now, and this qualifying session underway. We have 25 minutes, of open qualifying here for this event, and like all events here on Monday nights. So we're going to jump on board here momentarily with one of the drivers to do a hot lap around this circuit.
Well, now that sounds like fun, Al.
So we're following Ronny Nunez now. Ronny was the fastest car in the practice session, so it looks like he's giving himself a little bit of a gap. This guy's starting to shuffle in here a bit late.
Yeah, feeling pretty optimistic apparently about this qualifying session.
Ronny going through the final corner here. Take it away, Brent.
All right. Yeah, that final corner, very important there to get a good run, because though there are a few twists and turns, this is more or less just one kind of straightaway. No problem getting full throttle here through these couple corners. Bumps, not a problem either, but a very tricky braking zone coming up into this right-hander here. Very easy to get away. That little lag spike there or something. Ronny does a good job there down into third. Once you do get on that throttle, you want to make sure you're able to stay on it. That can be kind of tricky coming through the second part of that right-hander, as there are a few bumps there which can upset the car. Easy to get the braking a little too late here. Ronny takes it all the way to the curbing on the outside where he starts his braking zone, and that is pretty late. But with the sticky tires on, not too big a problem now. This is a very difficult braking corner here. Ronny takes it actually just about perfect. Wow, very nice line through there. Difficult to get that braking just right. You do want to get on throttle around these corners as quickly as you possibly can, and a few very tight and technical corners. These were the ones you were talking about, Al. Off camber for a lot of these corners, and very slow corner here. Ronny even elected to take it in first. As you can see, a little loose coming off. A couple off-camber corners back-to-back here. Second to last corner, third gear. Hopefully you can stay flat coming all the way through that corner, and you can get away with some late braking here, but you don't want to leave it quite too late. You need to get on the throttle way before you could see the exit there on that corner, and that's one fast lap around this place.
And Ronny immediately to provisional pole with a 31 flat. That is the fastest lap we've seen thus far up to this point. Nieto to second with 31.3. So these guys are really starting to lay it down here. Some guys might have been sandbagging a little bit there in practice. A lot of traffic for Ronny coming up here, but pretty outstanding lap.
Yeah, we saw only one kind of minor bobble there by Ronny Nunez coming off that very low speed, whoa, first gear corner, but other than that, extremely clean.
Yeah, so we got a new and improved broadcast app for tonight's race. Very excited about it. You can click on the people's names and rather than cycling through. So things, one thing I've noticed with having a tab around like we usually do is you kind of miss a lot, especially in qualifying. So hopefully I got it figured out and things will be a bit easier now. So take a look at the gaps here. It looks like Nieto on an out lap. Chris Moses currently 4.5 tenths off the pace. He is going to take it into the gravel and try his best next time out. John Houston looking quite racy here tonight as he takes it off, and he is good for fourth currently with a 31.5. Matt Taylor in fifth in the pit lane. Kevin Savoy out on track.
Yeah, we saw in that official practice session there, actually the times were kind of, the gaps are actually pretty large, so I'm not sure what's going on with that, but we'll see who's got the pace here and who does not.
On board right now with Kevin Savoy as he leads the league with poles this season with 3 total. Does not lead the league in points, however. He is way behind.
Yeah, right you are. 3 pole positions, Al.
So
yeah, actually pretty...
Go ahead, sorry.
That was a darn nice run for Kevin Savoy last week at Monza. Multiple times there I thought he was going to lose it and give away that second place, but he did a very nice job hanging on there for that result.
Yeah, I know we give him a hard time, but yeah, definitely was a solid result for Kevin. Carrying a bit of weight here tonight. Probably could have, should have won that race. Could have, would have, should have, but ended up being Luis Nieto coming home with the win.
Yeah, Kevin Savoy also electing to go for the first gear there, so that shows you just how slow that corner is. It's you just have to tell yourself and practice just crawling through that corner because it's just so inviting to take it much more quickly than you actually can.
Interesting line there through the final corner. I think you're going to be seeing some different stuff from different guys from some of these corners. Some guys attacking them wide, tight, but Savoy improves to 7th. Thiago Canola now has jumped up to second provisionally here with a nice opening salvo for him. 2 tenths off in the first sector.
And Thiago missing last week, but put in a fine result the week before that. I think. I don't have the results in front of me, so.
Yeah, he was unable to race last week. Imola the week before, suffered a DNF.
Oh, right. Was running well.
He certainly was. It's Canola off in the second sector as well. Ronny Nunez has improved his time just slightly to a 31 flat. Just a couple thousandths up on his previous best.
Well, you know, Ronny Nunez wants that 30. Let's just take a look at the very best times that have been set. 31.02, Ronny Nunez, best ever lap on the server, Al.
Luis Nieto currently in third, carrying 20 kilograms of success ballast after last week's win. Looking quite strong. Moses still back in fourth. just over 5/10 off. John Houston hasn't been able to improve. Matt Taylor on a flyer at the moment. I gotta admit, some of these camera angles make it hard for me to tell where they are on track. But I know where he is now, going through this turn 13 and 14 complex for Matt Taylor into the final corner. See how Matt takes it. So Matt kind of swings out wide a little bit.
Yeah, might have taken that a little wider than he would have liked, but if you can carry good speed, that won't hurt you too badly.
So Matt good enough for 6 at the moment. Looking further down the order here, Marty Uren. Marty currently in 8th. So Marty's been having a pretty steady, solid season.
Yeah.
Scoring well every race. Hasn't qualified all that great compared to what we've seen in the past, but has just been running clean and putting in some good results. I think a 5th has been his best result this far this season, but been in the top 10 most every race.
Yeah, that's right. It's been a resurgent second half of the season after a really slow start. We talked about that a couple weeks back. Marty Uren holding down 8th currently in this Drivers' Championship, so you know it's been a pretty good season.
John Houston just jumped up to 4th in qualifying, so he put down a good time. I think he was up in 3rd and got immediately pushed down to 4th by Nieto. Let's see what Marty can do here. Not going to be able to improve, so Marty's going to remain in 9th. Mike Greatrix just sets a personal best, 32.3. Mike has been having a tremendous season so far, especially these last several races, and running well in the top 10. And currently sitting in 9th. Jonathan Cuppett back in 11th. Been a bit on and off here since coming back, but time I'm sure Cuppett will get his act together here. Chuck Carter making a return after missing a couple races. Chuck currently sitting in 12th. Sam Rolfe in the pit lane, as is Greg Myers. Kevin Miller. Now Kevin Miller had his best qualifying probably ever last week at Monza, qualifying in 6th. But unfortunately got caught up in a first lap incident, not by his doing, but I think that might have affected his pace and performance after that. But currently sitting in 12th.
Yeah, did salvage a
Go ahead, sorry.
Did salvage a championship point there toward the end of that race, but yep, was showing good pace before that incident.
Curtis Chandler running in 17th. Curtis, a track he typically does well at. I know this is one he mentioned, one of his favorite tracks. So, but back in the GTR2 days, Kurt and I had this is way long ago, had a tremendous tussle here in the GT2 cars back in the day. I was never a fan of this track in GTR2, but I don't mind it so much here in this sim. It just did a number on the tires. I don't know, it just didn't suit my driving style. My tires were always worn after like 10 laps. I was fighting myself the whole time. Nikita Nemtsev.
That doesn't sound like you at all, Al.
Nikita Nemtsev, currently in 18th. John Watson, a pretty decent run last week. He might have finished 10th or 11th, I don't recall, but he was up there in the top 10 battling for a little while. As Cuppet sets a personal best 32 flat, so not bad, not a bad time at all there for Cuppet, good enough for 8th.
Yeah.
Brian Story running 20th. Bit off the pace. Sergio Calderon as Savoie sets a personal best 31.7. Calderon running 21st, and Ty Wynn made his debut last week. Currently 22nd. So back up front here, Ronny Nunez continues to lead the way with a 31 flat. Luis Nieto waiting all in second with a 31.1. And Tiago Canola in third with a 31.2. Well, very close times, top to bottom.
Yeah, you know, they are actually a little bit closer than I expected. We've got 10 minutes left in this qualifying session, so we would expect them to tighten up just a little bit, barring Ronny Nunez doing something really nuts here. But, yeah, pretty close. Aaron Parsons looks like he's got things a bit more figured out. Boy, those guys continue to struggle with the car. Talking with them a bit during the week and still having a little bit of trouble nailing down exactly what it is they need to do with those setups. But looking a little bit better than Aaron was in practice. And, hey, gotta like those PMR times. Chris Moses and Matt Taylor currently 5th and 6th provisionally, so those guys are doing what they need to do in the quest for that team championship.
On board now with Tiago Canola. He was giving himself a bit of a gap here to the car out front. He's on a flyer. 1/10 off in the first sector. He's got a little bit of traffic up ahead of him.
Boy, just under 3/10 off overall that provisional pole time, and boy, if you find yourself within 3/10, you figure it's got to be out there someplace for you. So Tiago's got to be feeling pretty good at his shot here in the last 10 minutes.
Approaching the third sector here. 3/10 off in sector 2. He's got to have a really good final sector here to pick up some time, but this traffic ahead of him is going to not help. Ooh, seen a lot of guys do that, exiting that turn 12.
You know, went out for some recon laps there on the mediums, Al. Those tires did not seem to hold up particularly long, so I wonder if the softs they're running here for this qualifying period are going to give up after just a couple, 3 laps. They might.
So, no improvement there for Tiago. Houston now coming to the stripe. Looks like he is just starting a flying lap.
Yeah, nice position if you're John Houston. You know, kind of up and down in the qualifying order we've seen John Houston. Typically more down than up, so this is a great spot for him to be at the moment. You got to figure he's going to have to improve a 10th or 2 if he wants to hang around that top 5, but we'll see. Time is running out.
Very tricky corner here he's going through. Turn
yeah, the key there.
Turn 9 coming up here, even more difficult. Go ahead, Brad. Sorry.
No. The key actually to both those corners really is just not out-braking yourself. That's the main thing, and you're going to lose way less time if you brake a tiny bit early as opposed to a little bit late.
Houston nearly identical sector times as Canola. Savoie jumps up to 5th with that just a moment ago. 31.5.
And Ronny out front, still searching for that 1:30.
Yeah, very close. As Houston comes to the line, and he does not improve. Exiting the pit lane now. Luis Nieto. What a coup this would be for Nieto if he could get pole with all that weight.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was going to mention too. I think Ronny Nunez must be thinking, well, look, if Lewis can be right there with the 20 kilograms, what is it that I'm doing wrong? Because I got to think it's something. Those 20 kilograms, we know that has quite an effect on these Formula Masters.
I know Lewis is, I know he missed one race, and he may have had a DNF in another race. I'm not sure. He had an incident where he didn't score well, but I think of all the guys, he has been, it's been him and Matt Taylor that have been week after week the quickest drivers, and Nieto has been able to be quick with weight as well. I think Matt had a couple races kind of struggled a little bit with the weight.
Yeah, the difference being, you're absolutely right, Watkins Glen and Brands Hatch there for Luis Nieto. Back-to-back races, no points, and you're absolutely right, that is the difference. He is still in this championship.
Yeah, as he takes it off. So Savoy, looks like Savoy is on a flyer here, 3/10 off. Chris Moses right behind him, 2/10 off here. Moses losing some time, that's not going to help. Sliding it through.
Yeah, you can get away with some sliding in these cars, but not very much.
Wolf just improves his own personal best with a 1:32 and change. Moses to the line. No improvement. Nope. And Savoy's sampling the wall.
Oh, yeah, I flipped off him for a second. You know, that last part of that lap was looking very good for Kevin Savoy. I got to think he might have been pretty close to one of his best times. Only 4.5 minutes left to go here, Al, so time is running short. Got to take advantage of those good laps.
Nunez was even in the first sector, but he's even in sector 2 as well. Looked like he had a little bit of a mistake, but didn't lose much time. This might be the lap, Brad.
Well, we're going to find out in just a few more corners. Tricky off camber, left-hander. Got to get over, make sure you can get full throttle coming through the right-hander. Very deep braking, cutting into the apex.
And did he do it?
No.
I believe this would be Ronnie's first pole if he's able to get it here this season, surprisingly. In the Formula Master cars.
Well, he's breathing pretty heavy right now. 3 minutes left to play. That's 2 timed laps for guys out there right now. So I think Ronnie is thinking he needs to do a little bit more just to be sure.
John Houston, looks like he is on an out lap. One guy we haven't talked about here, Aaron Parsons, back in 10th. Behind Cuppet and Kevin Miller. I don't believe Parsons is carrying any weight.
5 kilograms is all, Al.
That is all. Nunez continued that lap of his, so he's going to try for 2 in a row here.
Slightly better angle that time for the right-hander.
Yeah, that chicane looks like it's a lot more easier to get, much easier to get through in these cars than it is in the big GT cars.
It is.
And no improvement, so very similar time. Luis Nieto on a flyer here. Oh, looks like he's on an outlet, apologize. Canola has parked it. So Savoie with a big slide out of 12. See what Savoie can do here. No improvement for Kevin. Moses should have time here to get one more in. His teammate's right behind him.
A little mistake on entry there. He might need another one.
Let's have traffic just ahead of him. It's either Calderon or Greatrix. Looks like that's Mike Greatrix. Nope, I take that back. It's Calderon. Nope. My broadcast partner has left the server.
Okay. Well, let's try to fix that.
Matt Taylor. Currently in 7th. Even through the first sector. Taylor, a leader in the Drivers' Championship. Chris Moses ahead of him is in 2nd, just 10 points behind. Checkers are out. Ooh, Nieto pushing a little too hard there. Savoie's got a good lap going here as he enters the final corner. See if he can move up the list. Might be good here. No. Oh, I take that back. Yeah, 31.4 moves him up. No, doesn't move him anywhere. But he improves his time. Chris Moses loses it. Oh, looks like he's pulling into the pits. Matt Taylor. For the stripe for the last time here in qualifying. And no one. Cuppett's still on a flyer. As is Canola. Canola's got a good lap going there, up in his first sector.
Oh boy, he's got one more chance, huh?
Believe he's got time to get one in, yep. Is Cuppett coming to the line? And is he going to improve? Nope. Ooh, looks like Canola lost a bunch of time there in the middle sector.
Yeah, looking pretty good here in the 3rd. Oh, I didn't.
That's it.
Wasn't able to get it started. Yep.
Well, impressive qualifying here. Very close. You see 1 through 9 separated. Actually, 1 through 10, just about a second, a little over a second between the top 10. You can see Nieto carrying that weight. Ronny disconnect. This has been his thing. Right after qualifying, he'll disconnect and rejoin. But Lewis carrying that extra 20. Savoie with 15, Moses 10, Matt Taylor carrying 20, and Parsons there with 5. But a great qualifying effort from Nunez, Nieto, and Canola. So it's going to be an interesting race here. It's going to be 37 laps at this gym.
Yeah, well, that was a great lap. Of course, Ronny Nunez did finally pop into the 30s with that 30.9. Luis Nieto does have those 20 kilograms starting there from the 2nd place. So an impressive qualifying, but is that going to hurt him during the race? I suspect it probably will. Will Thiago Canola, John Houston, and or Kevin Savoie be able to take advantage of that? We'll see. Chris Moses there, maybe a bit of a surprise in that 6th place, only with the 10 kilograms. Teammate Matt Taylor, of course, just 1/10, less than a 10th off of Moses's qualifying time there, with 10 extra kilograms on board. So Matt Taylor, once again, very fast, even with the weight.
So let's, while we have a moment here, if you're just tuning in, you're watching live coverage of round number 10 of the North American Grand Prix Formula Master Series here every Monday night. and live here at Vallelunga. We're going to run down the point standings for the season thus far. So 3 races to go, including tonight. Matt Taylor leads overall with 149 points. Chris Moses only 10 points behind his teammate with 139. Nunez 19 points back with 130. Nieto 128 points, and Parsons 110. Parsons, although in 5th mathematically in the championship, but it's a very steep hill to climb, let's say. But it's pretty much, it is up for grabs. I mean, strange things have happened here. These guys, these points shift week after week. It's been pretty consistent runs for Taylor, Moses recently, and and Nunez. But bad luck for one of the top 2 guys, and things could turn out differently up there at the front. All right, so the team championship, precision motor racing, Taylor and Moses, they lead with 288 points, 96 points up on T-Brock Dam Bam. Again, that's all but set in stone. T-Brock, Dam Bam, and Kung Fu Racing in 3rd with 188. Those guys mathematically still in it, but highly unlikely that that's going to change. Monty Python Racing in 4th with 175, and Rocky Road Racing 5th with 132. So PMR looking really good in the team championship. That would make it 2 in a row for those 2 guys, for Moses and Taylor, and it's just been a level of consistency between the 2 of them that have paid dividends the last couple seasons. So like I said, 37 laps here. This is our first race at Vallelunga on Monday nights, so it's going to be a new experience for all these guys around here. They've all been practicing quite a bit, but it's going to be interesting to see how this race plays out and how it affects the tire wear, especially around here, because you can really push the car and overdrive it, Brad, and really do a number on your tires around here.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We have to do our field rundown, but quickly I'll say it will be interesting to see if we do see some big gaps open up, or if we do have good close racing throughout the field. Perhaps we'll just have some groups that get down and battle, but in any event, it's going to be a race.
It sure is. Very excited. So let's run down the start order for tonight's race. Start from pole, Ronny Nunez. 2nd, Luis Nieto. Canola's going to start 3rd. John Houston 4th. And Kevin Savoy is going to start 5th.
2nd in points, Chris Moses. 1st in points, Matt Taylor. Jonathan Cuppett takes 8th. Kevin Miller 9th. Aaron Parsons 10th.
Oscar Lithgow is going to start 11th. Mike Greatrix 12th. Marty Sharpton 13th. Sam Rowe 14th. And Chuck Carter is going to start 15th.
Gregory Myers will take 16th. Nikita Nemchev takes 17th. Curtis Chandler will start 18th, out of the points at the moment. John Wathen 19th. Sergio Calderon 20th. Let's see. Brian Story 21st. Sorry, out. Ty Wynn will take 22nd.
Any predictions here tonight, Brad? We got 20 seconds to go.
I like Ronnie. I like Ronnie this race.
Yeah, it's hard to bet against him for tonight. We are about to go green here. Round 10 from Vallelunga. The field makes its way down into turn number 1. It's going to be Ronnie leading the field. Thiago Canola right behind. Really nice start from the field here. Very clean. Nieto having a look on the inside of Canola. Looks like he might have got the pass made, Brad. Very aggressive pass, but makes it stick. catching a little too much curb there as Canola had a look on Nieto. Houston with a good start. I don't want to lose the position. Actually, no, the position's pretty static right now. They haven't changed from where they qualified, at least the top 5 haven't. Kevin Miller with an outstanding start up to 6th.
Yeah. Wow.
K2 Racing, Kevin Miller, Kevin Savoie. Quite the resurgence here.
So yeah, as mentioned, pretty clean throughout the field here, Al. A few bumps here and there. Somebody lost it coming off the last corner.
Our boy Chris Moses put a lot of pressure now on John Houston. This is for the 4th position. Ooh, Houston getting it wrong, but it doesn't look like Moses is going to be able to take advantage. He's going to try to have a look on the outside. Nope.
Yeah, and once you get into this part of the track, just not many opportunities for a pass. Your best opportunity is going to be from a mistake in front. So you want to get your passes made in the first part of this track, if possible.
Kevin Savoie putting pressure on his teammate Kevin Miller. That's for 6th, right behind this battle. Matt Taylor's shuffled down to 8th after that start. He's got some pressure from Aaron Parsons. Ronny Nunez quickly jumping out to a 2-second lead over Nieto. That's for the lead.
Yeah, if you're Ronny Nunez, this is exactly the start that you wanted to have, particularly with Nieto and having the weight. So he survived the opening lap, didn't get into any danger, led the field into turn 1. Now he can set the pace and try to maintain just a nice smooth gap.
Ooh, Chris Moses has a look on the inside of Houston. Man, he really threw it in there, and I think he got it done. Oh, nearly threw it off track, but Moses getting a pass made.
Yeah, an aggressive move. I think Chris felt like he had to make that move. He was beginning to lose a little bit of contact already with Thiago Canola, that car in front. Whether he has the speed to get back up to Thiago, well, we'll see, I guess.
Thiago closing the gap between himself and Luis Nieto up in 2nd. Really close battles here.
Yeah, he sure is. I suspected that might be the case with that Luis Nieto weight.
Kevin Savoie really putting a lot of pressure on his teammate, Kevin Miller. Ooh, Savoie might have some pace over Kevin Miller.
Yeah, those cars are pretty...
Go ahead.
Those cars are pretty stacked up there for that position now. They're 5, 6, even 7 deep here, fighting over those positions early. Yeah, tough spot here for Kevin Miller. It looks like perhaps his teammate Savoie has a bit of pace. Kevin Miller, we talked about it a bit last week, not used to being up toward the front of these fields, but has picked up the speed, and now he's just going to have to kind of learn how to get in there and fight and stay consistent among these very fast drivers.
Yeah, so far it's Ronny Nunez all alone out front, but from second all the way back to about 15th. Just a train of cars here. Oscar Lithgow on board with him. He's trying to chase down Jonathan Guppin, who is in 10th. Lithgow had a very nice run last week at Monza. Behind them, it's Greatrix, Rolf, and Marty. Marty back in 14th. Not sure what happened to Marty, but it's like Marty got shuffled back a few positions here.
Boy, he sure did. Well, the field's still very tight, so plenty of opportunity to make ground and pick up a lot of positions. It is still Kevin Savoy now, taking another look on teammate Kevin Miller. And Savoy's actually going to get that position, get the pass made.
He does get over
Kevin Miller.
So nice move there from Kevin to get around. So looked to me like Kevin Savoy had some pace over his teammate. So move he had to make. So he can get to work now on John Houston.
You know, I was watching that battle, but I was interested in that battle, but also watching the progress of Matt Taylor behind. Let's not forget Matt Taylor started 6th, but has slipped to 8th, and you know what? I'm not sure his pace is so great here. His race pace may be a little off. Let's not forget, this is our championship leader, Matt Taylor, and I think he's just a bit off here. Aaron Parsons really looking to take over that 8th position from Matt Taylor.
Taylor just had Parsons just had a moment in the lawn, gathered it back up. Lithgow now, a lot of pressure on Cuppin. Had to lift momentarily. Yeah, it looked like Oscar could have gotten a run on him, but they played a little cautious as Cuppin running a little ragged. Oh, he's going to run on him now. He's going to swing on the outside. Should be able to take him here.
Looks like the downforce pretty evenly matched for those two drivers.
Nice pass there by Oscar. So Oscar picks up a spot. The best lap of the race so far, Nunez with the 31.6, only 6 tenths off his pole lap.
Yeah, that lead not shrinking at all, is it there, Al?
Not at all, as Matt Taylor now starting to put some pressure on Kevin Miller. This is for 7th. So Savoy, after getting past Kevin Miller, he is kind of checked out from his teammate.
Yeah, and this is the Matt Taylor I expected to see instead of losing a little bit of ground to, well, what was Kevin Savoy is now gaining a bit of ground on teammate Kevin Miller. So. But that battle still very thick behind, as we can see.
So looking further back, we got Marty Uren trying to chase down Sam Rolfe. Chuck Carter back in 15th. Behind him, Nikita Nemtsev. So these guys looking to have, they got a battle brewing here. Yeah, you're right. I mean, this battle here for 15th and 16th between Nemtsev and Carter. I mean, one little moment up front, they can pick up a couple, 3 spots.
Yeah, 14th place now, all the way back to, well, 15th really, just about 20 seconds behind our leader, so that's not much time, really.
We had a big lockup. A little further up, that was Cuppet, Taylor, and Parsons. Incredible battle here early on. I don't know what to watch.
Yeah, you can see from our scoring pylon, we do have colors on almost every driver, which means that those are direct fights going on out there on track. So still very tight. Only 7 laps in, but nonetheless, good action early.
John Houston keeping the pressure on Chris Moses. Kevin Savoy now has caught up to that battle, so it's going to be a three-way tussle there soon for that 4th spot. Let's see. It looks like Taylor may have a run on Kevin Miller here. Gonna have a look. He can get a good exit here. He might pull him down the straight.
Yeah, it looked like Kevin actually got through
looks
there.
like we got him off.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Kevin Savoy throwing it off.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that's going to move him down a bunch of spots.
Well, if you're Kevin Savoy now, it's just important to try to stay calm. We've seen him kind of cascade mistakes. After he makes one, they can tend to kind of stack up on him. So hopefully he'll just kind of stay calm, refocus, and get back on the wheel.
Well, with Parsons. What a run from Nunez. Ooh, tie win. Out. Already 6 seconds up on 2nd place. We're only 8 laps in. Gotta wonder, did he start on the hards?
Well, let's just take a look, shall we? Ronny Nunez on the hards. Yep.
That pace is legit.
It's too legit to quit right now, Al.
That's MC Hammer reference.
Yeah, I'm kind of wondering a little bit if João Canola had been able to make that pass for 2nd early, if he could have maintained the gap a little closer to Ronny Nunez. Don't know that it would have been enough, but boy, it's sometimes it is just about keeping it close and hoping you can come up with a mistake late in a race by a guy in front. In any event, it's Ronny Nunez leading the way.
A little further back, Nikita Nemtsev putting some pressure here on Chuck Carter. This is for 13th, so these 2 guys picked up a couple spots. Marty's falling back to 16th, so Marty's and Rolf, both those guys, they are struggling here early on in this race.
You know, this team championship is actually a very close battle.
Oh, Houston, big lockup. Sorry, Brett. Nearly got in the back of Moses.
Yeah, another lockup. So, boy, these tires do flat spot relatively easily. So, he may be having issues with that, and it will only get worse.
Savoy has made his way past Lithgow, and Cuppet now has gotten back past Lithgow. So, positions changing all over the place.
Well, again, some of those recon laps, it was only 4 or 5 or 6 laps that those mediums did start to noticeably give up, and I'm wondering if maybe the hards are not going to do the same thing here.
Nemtsev with a nice pass on Chuck on the inside, but Chuck looks like he's going to have an answer here down the straight. Chuck going to stretch those legs a little. Ooh, side by side through the front straight. Chuck takes the position back. Nice battle here. That's tough to do through that part of the track, but they got it done.
It sure is, and you have to like what we've seen out of Nemtsev here. Well, I do anyway. So has scored some nice points finishes, has kept his nose relatively clean, hasn't run too afoul of the competition committee, so a nice addition here to NAGP.
So Calderon. Oh, ooh, Chuck! Lost it on his own there, under braking, so gives up that position. It's unfortunate for Chuck. He had a good battle there going. Meanwhile, this battle here between Miller, Taylor, and Parsons continues to rage, as does the Houston-Moses battle. So far, one of the best races we've seen. I mean, the last number of races were very... wow! I'm sorry, Miller, with another moment.
I didn't even have to say anything to bring the broadcaster's curse into effect. I was just about to say how impressed I was with Kevin Miller. Only 11 laps in, but still was running very solidly. It still is, but
might be side by side here. It might be advantage Miller. He might take that spot back. Oh, contact with Taylor.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened there, but the guys going side by side through that corner. It's tough to do. I think it might have been in Taylor's best interest just to give that spot back, but Taylor now back to 10th with Lithgow all over his tailpipe.
Yeah, hopefully those two won't be suffering too much damage. Now, this is still some interesting headlines here for Chris Moses as they run. Chris Moses actually would be, I think, leading now this championship over teammate Matt Taylor.
Taylor nearly takes it off with Lithgow behind. All right, great tricks right there in the mix. Wow, just a gaggle of cars everywhere.
Yeah, Mike Greatrix actually has given up a few positions here, was running there toward the top 10, inside the top 10, so has given a few up recently, but looking to recover those lost spots.
So Parsons, after qualifying in 10th, has now jumped up to 6th. Has gotten past Kevin Miller after that little incident. Right now, it is, Lithgow looking, dicing, slicing all over the track trying to get past Taylor. But I think Lithgow might have him here. That aero damage on Taylor is going to hurt him here down the straight.
Yeah, no question, and this is a bit of danger time here if you're Matt Taylor. You really are going to have to, if you're Matt Taylor, just stay as patient as you possibly can. Cannot make more mistakes from here until your pit stop.
Matrix in this fight as well. Taylor able to hang on to that spot.
Well, keeping an eye on those gaps toward the front, it is Nieto, Canola, and Moses, 2, 3, and 4. Those gaps have remained exactly just the same. Those guys are fighting really hard, but just a couple seconds apart, as opposed to the battles we're watching here, just within a couple tenths of each other.
So, looking at the time, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars all within 2 seconds of each other. Pretty amazing as Kevin Miller now, his teammates have back all over his tailpipe as well, and no doubt looking for a way past. Cuppet right there as well. Cuppet having a tremendous run here tonight, running in the top 10. Now with Greatrix. Big lockup from Taylor.
Yeah, and we have seen a few more big lockups than we have in a lot of races this season here, Al, and it makes sense. A very difficult late braking zones here on this track, but yeah, seeing a lot of tire smoke flying out there.
Oh, looks like Moses Watton's gone. He's gone. Looks like Moses made a mistake. That's allowed Houston to get past. Didn't catch that. That might have been some of the smoke we were seeing in the distance.
Yeah, that is going to throw Moses not only behind John Houston, but a few more seconds off of Thiago Canola, who's running just a couple seconds behind, and now it's a full 5 or 6.
So I talked briefly about those lockups. You know, you can very easily flat spot these tires if you do it too much, and it really makes things difficult. Ooh, it's Lithgow. Is he going to make it happen this time by? It looks like he may. He does. He gets by Taylor. Taylor's looking to recover here, but Lithgow.
Yeah, Lithgow throwing the block there.
Yeah.
I don't think we can call it a late block, however. You know, it's fair enough.
So, ooh, Cuppet! Oh! Roller coaster ride there for Cuppet. And he's going to drop down several positions. Now back to 12. Just like that, he's lost 4 positions.
Wow, as a result of some of those problems in front, Aaron Parsons has moved up all the way to the 6th position now. I'm pretty impressed here after that, what was it, 11th place start for Aaron Parsons? I guess he did slide inside the top 10, didn't he, by qualifying?
Yeah.
Nonetheless, picked up 5 or whatever it is, couple 3 spots.
So Cuppet, look at the bounce back here. After going for a ride last lap. Oh! Gets a little squirrely and manages to save it. Wow. All right. Cuppet's got to gather it back together here. Regroup. Check the telemetry. So, now let's focus on, is Savoie with a big slide there. He's gotten past his teammate Kevin Miller, now putting the pressure on Aaron Parsons for 6th.
Yeah, and I think it has been a pretty nice recovery for Savoie here. After that earlier incident, so quickly running toward halfway in this event. Just a couple more laps, these guys will be thinking about their pit stops and just what they're going to do to try to get in front of the guy who's in front of them right now.
Continue on board with Savoie as he tries to make his way past Aaron Parsons running down this front straight. Not much of a straight.
Yeah, it's not too straight, is it? I was thinking out there, I'm surely might be some guys thinking about trying to double stint those hards. We see that, whoa, as a mistake there. But with these lockups we've seen, some guys that might otherwise try to double stint and save those 5 or 6 seconds might now have to take on a fresh set of tires.
Ooh, there's Savoie. Whoa. Well, the way Savoie is driving, something tells me he's going to need some new rubber. Sliding that thing everywhere. Oh, we have Lithgow with the back. I don't know what happened. I just saw the tail end of it, but he has lost some positions. Looks like Graytrix is going to get past. So I'm not sure if he had contact or he was just pushed a little too hard. But that's going to drop Graytrix back to 12. I'm sorry, Lithgow back to 12. Chuck Carter has gotten past Nemtsev again, and now Nemtsev trying to take that position back. Two having a monumental tussle here in this first stint. Keep our eye on that. There's a lot of things. I need a split screen. I need one of those split screens, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. I've got my eyeballs glued on the Savoie-Parsons battle here at the moment. Kind of keeping an eye on those top 5 times. Looks like Chris Moses continues to slip off the pace a little bit, along with John Houston. Those guys dropping off 3rd place Canola a little bit.
Looks like Taylor has pitted, so he is back out on track. Lithgow looks like he's in the pits, perhaps. That's one thing I failed to mention. Very tricky pit entrance here. You want to very tight going in, so you want to really take it easy going into the pit lane. You can easily slam the wall. Last season we had a race here, and well, in AC there's no collisions in the pit lane, and I was following Chris Moses into the pits. He lost it. His car was blocking the lane, and I didn't think I could drive through them. And I just sat there and waited, lost a bunch of time while he fixed his car. And then someone just drove through us. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I remember that. So, it looks like Kevin Savoy has moved past Aaron Parsons there for that 6th position as these drivers think about their pit stops upcoming.
Yeah, we're in the
always
window.
Like to get that.
We're in the, definitely in the pit window.
Always like to get that pass made before your pit stop.
So we haven't checked out our leader since pretty much the start of the race, and well, there he is, Ronny, leading here, 12 seconds up on Luis Nieto. Basically having an outstanding run here. Best lap, 31.5, so no letting up for him. He is flying. Second closest is Nieto, and actually I take that back, as John Houston's run a 31.8, so Houston's got the leader's pace.
You know, I've actually been looking at that gap from time to time, and I'm a little surprised that it hasn't opened up a little larger, a little more quickly. So Luis Nieto is actually, he's running pretty well there in second. Very consistent, obviously. Still 12.5 seconds, a wide margin, but I expected it could have been even larger than that.
So Lithgow, Greatrix, and Coppa duking it out here. This Nemtsev-Carter battle continues to push forward. Big lockup from Chuck. No doubt, ooh, a big lurch there from Nemtsev. So no doubt feeling the heat. Chuck is from Nikita. Those guys been duking it out all race.
Yeah, Houston has come in now from the 4th position.
So there you have it. Houston
Kevin Miller in.
Kevin Miller exiting the pit lane. Just checking the field here, see if anybody else decides to bring it into the pits. So
Nemtsev, you're in. Chandler, sorry.
All coming in. It's going to be interesting to see what Ronny does here. He's been stretching it out lately in terms of his stint, so he's not coming in. He's staying out.
Yeah, well, in general, the better pace, or the bigger gap you have, the more conservative you can be. You know, there's no reason why he can't come in and get some fuel and change tires still and have a reasonable gap and pace after that.
Canola in the pits, and they see the look of the pit entrance there.
Oh,
what happened?
Aaron Parsons almost flipped it over on his lid bicycle fashion as he coming through the the last chicane here. He has brought it into the pits. That was really close to doing something horrible.
So Canola out, Chris Moses is in. And away. It's going to be interesting to see now where he comes out in relation to Houston. And it looks like Houston's going to beat him out. Just barely.
Yeah, that was important. I think Chris Moses typically very fast after his stops. A little faster than he typically is in his first stint. So that was an important get for John Houston.
Tiago Canola has made a stop, comes out right ahead of Oscar Lithgow. So Lithgow still needs to come into the pit lane, as do the top three. Nunez staying out. Okay, here, it looks like Rolf's going for a ride. Now Nieto into the pits, so we're going to watch this Nieto-Canola duel. Savoy running in third.
Yeah, that gap only about 3 seconds or so when Tiago Canola came in for his service.
I got to thank John Luden for the app. This is a huge help.
Oh, he incorporated the other app with it. Oh, is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I was wondering how come I didn't see the other one up there. Okay, great, good.
So, Canola losing out on that pit stop. I believe Nieto might have double stinted here, as he has got Canola cleared by about 8 seconds. I'm sorry, 3 seconds. What was that gap when they came in? It was a little closer, I thought.
It was about 3 seconds, Al.
All right,
nope, it was about 3 seconds.
Yeah, I was looking at the wrong thing. So pit stops have ended, and Kevin Savoy now has rejoined right behind Chris Moses, only a second off that gap. And it looks like Carter and Nemsev have rejoined, and they're gonna.
Yeah, Nunez into the pits. So it's looking like it's taking these guys about 30 seconds or so to run their pits. Ronny Nunez comes in with a 40-second lead.
Richard Roman checking into the broadcast.
Oh boy, here we go.
Ooh, big slide from Nemsev. Yeah, Richard. Our special guest broadcaster when you're out, Brad. Does a fine job.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it does too good a job. I can't stay away, but too long. I'm gonna be out of a job.
Yep.
So nobody losing out terribly during that pit stop rotation. No surprises, I would say. Kevin Savoy, however, has recovered very nicely. Of course, we remember early in the race, Kevin Savoy getting put down to about the 10th position. So obviously showing some fantastic speed out there on track. Kevin Miller as well. I assume he has come in for his pit stop here.
Yeah, Kevin Miller has really turned it up a notch these last couple of races.
Ah.
So it's going to be interesting to see what Houston can do here, as he's got 2 seconds up on Moses. Let's see if he can stretch that gap out a little bit, as Houston was as hey! Savoy going for a ride. Let's see if Houston can settle down here and try and reel in Canola, but taking it off into the grass is not going to help.
Yeah, we weren't able to see him reel in Thiago Canola much there that first stint, did we?
So Taylor, after his early stop, comes out behind Aaron Parsons. Up it right behind them. The gap spread out ever so slightly. But Moses now running here in 5th after that little bobble there from Houston last lap has closed up ever so slightly. Kevin Savoy losing out a little bit after his mistake.
Yeah, a little bit. The gap that I'm really watching here, the news, what interests me here is the Matt Taylor in the 9th position now. I think Matt Taylor retains his points lead as they run right now, but it's pretty close between him and teammate Chris Moses in the 5th position. So those battles will bear watching as those guys move up or down positions. And Curtis Chandler as well. Curtis Chandler, one of only 4 drivers remaining to have scored points in every event, now in danger of ending that streak here, Al. Curtis Chandler in 18th needs 2 spots to continue that point streak.
Yeah, it might be tough. Curtis a lap down. Yeah, we haven't mentioned Curtis at all tonight, but struggling here at one of the tracks he likes. But we're following Taylor right now. This is important for Parsons. He, although in the championship hunt currently, he's going to want to stay ahead of Taylor. Looks like it's not going to be an easy task here, as Taylor's really putting the pressure on.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. We've seen Aaron Parsons move up to a nice position with, in my opinion, having some suspect speed, but we know Matt Taylor really fast here tonight and looking to recover some time lost.
Other than that incident between Kevin Miller and Matt Taylor in this particular corner we're going through right now, it's been a very clean event so far, very clean start.
Yeah, we've seen a few guys take some of the high curbing and go for some roller coaster rides, but other than that, I would say you're absolutely right.
Big lurch there from Taylor. He's really pushing Parsons. A bit of a moment himself, but looks like he's going to hang on to the spot, perhaps. Keeping it to the inside. He does. Cuppet now under some pressure from Lithgow right behind these guys.
Yeah, and not far behind these guys, really. I mean, just a couple seconds, really, all things being equal.
Tell you, it has been a good season to watch. It's been very close racing for the most part, and really, you know, every race you're gonna have a few incidents at the start, but I mean, let's just say the Thursday league could. These guys on Monday have set a pretty good, have raised the bar a little bit in terms of opening lap starts and to keeping it clean. Something a lot of those guys need to aspire to.
Yeah, and when was the last time we were able to say that on Mondays, Al? Like never?
I mean, last season it was our first go at it on Monday nights, and these well, it was in the bars, but you know, there's going to be some issues to work out, and you know, guys figuring the cars out and stuff, but they certainly have up to this point. So, back up front here, it's Houston trying to hold off Chris Moses here for fourth. Big points for Moses if he can get by Houston here. Important for him to do that if he wants to get up and potentially take over the Drivers' Championship lead.
Yeah, only some 10 laps remaining in this event. You have to figure that Matt Taylor will eventually find a way past Aaron Parsons, though. He did make a bit of a mistake here last lap and actually closed the gap a bit up. Jonathan Cuppet and Oscar Lithgow behind him. So I think you're absolutely right. It is important for Chris Moses to take over that fourth position if he can get it.
So on board with Lithgow right now, as you can see, the battle, this is for 8th between Parsons, Taylor, Cuppet, and Lithgow, as Cuppet having a run.
Boy, had a mistake did Matt Taylor there in that fight, close fight with Aaron Parsons, and here the last couple laps has not been able to really recover and refocus. Started focusing, I think, on the mirrors a bit more than the gearbox there, the car in front.
Yeah, you might be right, as Cuppet's really putting the pressure on Matt with Lithgow right behind. Meanwhile, Moses having a look on the inside of John Houston. This is for 4th, and Moses is going to get it done.
Wow. Yeah, it did look like John Houston actually had started to slow up pretty significantly. Relative to the kind of pace he had run in the first stint. So Chris Moses was definitely looking to get by and get down the road.
On board with Taylor now.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely the best battle we have at the moment on track. The most significant in terms of both our championships also. Yeah, Matt Taylor now really in danger of giving up some significant points. It is Ronny Nunez leading this race, currently third in our championship, and Luis Nieto in second, who runs fourth in our championship. Those guys will be gaining some big points if they continue to run as they are on track.
Taylor having a look on the inside of Parsons.
Regardless, though, I have to say, if you're Matt Taylor, it's... Whoa!
Lithgow takes it off. Sorry, Brad.
No, I saw that, too. Regardless, I'm still pretty impressed by Matt Taylor kind of hanging on here. Ninth is not where you want to be if you're Matt Taylor. I can tell you that he's not terribly happy with it, but having that contact we saw earlier with Oscar Lithgow and going back to 10th, he has done a pretty good job holding serve since then. So pretty impressive, really.
Yeah, this is like Taylor better through the third sector than Parsons. Parsons able to hold him off through the first two sectors.
Yeah, you got to figure it's down to downforce. The problem is it's where you can't get passes made. I mean, it's just more or less impossible.
So Moses under some pressure now from Houston after getting past a lap or two ago. Look on the inside for Taylor.
I think he might get
this. Whoa! Big slide from Parsons. Whoa. So Parsons now shuffled back to 11th.
Yeah, took that braking a little too deep for Aaron Parsons. A bit of a loss of focus there, I'd say, and it has cost him big.
Yeah, that's not a mistake we see too often from him. Well, with Houston now. So that makes that pass Moses made here on Houston that much more important.
Yeah, right you are, Al. And if you're Matt Taylor with some 8 laps to go, I have to think that
Moses takes it off.
Wow.
And he spun it. That is just unbelievable. So Moses going to give up a spot to Savoie. Potentially, yep. Unbelievable. Unreal. So Kevin Miller, who's running in 7th, and we haven't really talked too much about. We did earlier, but still continues to run well here. But what a story that is, as Chris Moses now drops to 6th. And now 9 seconds off of Houston. Unreal.
Yeah. Wow, and you know, as bad as that is for Chris Moses and his championship here, that's also good news actually for Ronny Nunez and Luis Nieto. They gain more points than they would have otherwise, assuming they finish in the same place, of course. But wow, one position can be all it takes for this championship. It's really that close.
Ooh, Rolf and Nemcev going at it here. Nemcev holding serve over Sam Rolf. Not sure. Oh, Chuck Carter. Chuck Carter still holding on to that 14th position over Nikita. Sam Rolf, the last car in the points. Greg Myers running in 17th. Have an off night for Greg. You see him out of the points. Talked about Kurt Chandler. I haven't seen too much of him tonight, but he is running 18th, and Brian Story back in 19th. We got 3 guys who DNF. So Ronny Nunez with an 18-second gap over Luis Nieto with just 7 laps to go. And it looks like Canola may be ever so slightly closing that gap up to Luis. Some lap traffic coming up here for these guys.
Yeah, and just before that Chris Moses mistake, we saw, I was going to mention Matt Taylor and his hopes to reclaim that 7th position here over Kevin Miller. He has an outside shot, I believe, slightly better pace, but Kevin Miller still is running pretty strong. And we'll see if he's able to hang on for that impressive 7th place finish.
Moses trying to reel in Kevin Savoy and get that spot back. And spin cost him 2 positions. Ooh, Greg Myers now challenging for that final points paying position with his teammate. So it looks like Sam might have had it off.
Oh, that battle's on.
So Greg may get it done. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, no T-Mores between these two guys as they're really duking it out here.
No, and actually showing a little bit of damage there on the Myers machine. Oh, I thought I saw something. Maybe I don't.
These two continue to run side by side here. It looks like Sam Rolfe's going to hang on to that. Luis Nieto, coming up to lap these guys. He's going to say he might lose out some valuable time here to Canola. So that gap is now 4 seconds as Canola's just made his way past Curtis Chandler.
Yeah, the field is a little thin here, which is good news for our leaders because lap traffic can really be difficult on this track. But not as much out there.
Lithgow starting to close back up on Cuppet and Matt Taylor. Cuppet's been pretty close to Taylor on a number of occasions. Ooh, as this battle between Rolfe and Myers now back on after letting the lead cars pass. And it looks like Greg Myers has gotten past. He does. He does get the position. So Greg now in the points. Well,
just watching Curtis Chandler back there behind these guys as they do something and take each other out. Curtis could earn that championship point, continue that point streak. He's not too far behind.
What a great battle these two have had all night between Nikita and Chuck. They're still going at it here. They've exchanged positions a couple times.
Sam Rolfe has a spin. So Sam Rolfe back to 18th.
Either trying to draft Chuck down the front straight. Gonna have a look on the inside of Chuck. He's not going to be able to get it done. Chuck hangs on to that position. And these two guys, since the green flag, have been nose to tail the entire night. And it's just been great to watch. There's been so much going on, but these two have been at each other's throats.
Makes for a hell of a fun night out there on track, having some nice dicing. I tell you, that battle for 7th has become a 3-way dice also here late in the closing laps, Al. These guys pretty close to each other, all things considered, and working some traffic.
Yeah, Taylor, Cuppet, Lithgow starting to close up on Kevin Miller there in 7th as we continue to watch this fight. Ooh. Nikita had to lock him up, nearly got into the back of Chuck. the outside. Nieto coming up on these two, looking to get past. He's got Thiago Canola there just rounding the final corner. Oh, as Nikita takes it off into the grass. We're enjoying this battle up here between Miller, Taylor, and Cuppet. Lithgow as well. Kind of spread out for the moment. Nemtsev, meanwhile, looking to get past. Ooh, he's going to let Nieto pass. Nice job from Nikita. It's a tough position to be in if you're a lap car. You know, these guys are duking it out late for position here.
It is. It's tough on both sides. For the lapper and the lappee. Everybody wants to keep it clean, of course, but you know, sometimes it's just difficult to give room in the spot that you'd really like to be able to do it, and things do close up as a result.
So Chris, speaking of closing up, Chris Moses is closing up here on Kevin Savoy late.
Yeah.
Lithgow. Oh, looks like Cuppet's taking it off, so Lithgow's gotten past Cuppet, moves up to 9th. Back on board with this battle between Moses and Kevin Savoy. Moses desperate to get past Savoy here late in this race. Working lap 35 of 37.
Yeah, Chris had that spin. I think it was actually pretty close to contacting the inside wall. I think he barely stayed off of it. Otherwise, he would have been in a much seriously difficult position.
Canola now only within about, now that gap stretched out a little bit. It was 2 seconds. Moses looking for the pass on the outside of Kevin. These two go side by side. That's where Moses wants to be. He's got to get it done. He's going to have to do it now. He's going for it. Kevin's going to hang on to the spot.
Yeah, really good heads-up driving by both those drivers, taking it in as hard as they absolutely could, but still with enough control to stay off each other. Really nice stuff.
Taylor now putting some pressure on Kevin Miller in 7th.
Yeah, was able to get there just about a second off, but only 1 lap left to get that done.
Moses needs a good exit here, try and get a run off Kevin Savoy.
Oh, that's all he's thinking of, but boy, he took it in a little deeper than he wanted to.
Defending the inside. Oh, he's going to try again here on the outside. Moses hanging out way wide. Trying to force Savoy into a mistake, not happening. Meanwhile, leader started the last lap.
Wow. you battle and battle and battle for 56 minutes, and you know what? You just have to battle for another minute and a half with everything you got. I mean, that's, you know, just no let up.
It's going to be it for Moses. Got to make it happen now. Ooh, we got someone stage right. Ooh, looks like that's Nemsev off track there.
Oh, Nemsev into the pits. This could be the spot Curtis Chandler needed. No, he's not gonna do that for him.
Ronny Nunez, last couple corners. Moses looking for a way past. Ooh.
Yeah, he tried more of an up and under move, taking the braking a little earlier that time, but Kevin was having nothing of it.
To the line, takes the win. Nieto's going to finish second. Back to this battle. Ooh, Moses out into the weeds. Oh, he's really pushing hard. But I think that was it for Moses. Meanwhile, Luis Nieto coming around the final corner. He's going to take second. Right behind him, Tiago Canola in third. Houston with a great run in fourth. And Kevin Savoie is going to hold on to that fifth. We assume here in the final corner. He does. Chris Moses sixth. Kevin Miller, meanwhile, under intense pressure here from Matt Taylor into the final corner. Kevin Miller with his, it's going to be his best result of the season. Is going to take seventh ahead of Matt.
Wow.
Lithgow, look at that finish there. Boom, boom. Everybody finished one right after another. Greg Myers, Parsons going to finish 11th. And Greatrix 12th. So Greg Myers, last car. Marty Uren, last car on the lead laps, finishes 13th. Wow, what a finish here, Brad. What a run. Gonna go back, exit here, save the broadcast, the replay, and talk to our winner. Ronny Nunez, do you copy?
Yes, I copy all, Brad. Good evening, guys.
How's it going? Man, what a race for you tonight. Class of the field by far. Really, kind of tight qualifying. You were a tenth or two up on second place, I think, Lewis. But, man, what a race. The race started and you just immediately checked out. You were gone, and I think within the first 6 or 7 laps, you were already 8 seconds up on the rest of the field. I mean, what was it that set you apart from the rest of the field tonight? I mean, you weren't even that far off on your qualifying pace.
Well, for starters, I wasn't carrying weight, which I always was, and Moses and Matt, so that played a big part. But yeah, during quali, I just couldn't get a clean lap. I should have been 5/10 in front of Luis if everything went how it's supposed to be, but it didn't, and I just couldn't get a clean lap. But yeah, on overall, I was during practice, I was around 5/10 quicker than him. So yeah, I knew I had the race pace.
Well, I don't know if I have too many questions about the race itself. You're able to go ahead and get to the first corner first and set the pace from there, and that's really what you needed to do with the kind of pace you had, and no problems there, and you worked traffic, and congratulations on that win. But I was going to ask you a bit about Oscar Lithgow. Now, you guys, we've seen Oscar Lithgow show some pretty good speed, but since joining up, he has really come on now and put in some great results. Has been very racy. Have you guys talked much about race setups and strategy and what you guys as a team want to do going forward?
Oh yeah, definitely. Ever since he joined the team permanently, ever since David left. We've been practicing all week because I really need a strong result to get back into the championship hunt, and he's a really fast guy. He's getting up to grips with the car, and yeah, we're going back and forth, sharing setups, and yeah, definitely.
Well, Ronnie, speaking about the championship, you're going to pick up a bunch of points on Taylor and Moses. You got 2 races to go, A1 ring and Nürburgring. How do you think your chances are shaping up here, coming down the stretch?
It's man, this is exactly what I needed, but it's so hard to win a championship. I mean, it's so close up front. Moses and Matt have been amazing this season. They're gonna be really tough. Luis has been stellar. I mean, he had a few problems. That's why he's not in the championship fight anymore. But man, it's gonna be hard. Now I'm gonna carry weight. They're not gonna carry weight, I think. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to do some damage control at A1 ring.
Well, we've seen you do well with weight in the past, so we expect you to be up near the front next week for sure at A1 ring. Another great track, so we're looking forward to that race next week. And congratulations again. There was just such an incredible race all the way through the field. We didn't really check in with you that much, but because you were gone. But the whole field, it was an amazing race. So, but great job tonight, and good luck next week.
Thank you. I'm gonna need it. I'm super happy about this. But yeah, good evening, guys. Good night.
All right, Brad. Well, wow, probably one of the tightest races we've seen all season. I think that's got to be one of the best we've broadcast so far.
Yeah, in terms of gaps to each other on track, I think you're absolutely right. I'm a little surprised, I have to say. So maybe Vallelunga is going to be a track that gets pretty heavy rotation here at NAGP. Hard to say. It is a favorite track of mine, and it does require skill. It requires some preparation for it too. Set up pretty critical around this place. So it was nice to see that all those drivers did do that preparatory work and get all that done and put on a good show tonight. So it's, in the end, it's Matt Taylor. Didn't give up as many points as it looked like he was in danger of there at one point, but nonetheless, this championship is going to tighten up, and it looks like just with a couple races left, it's for grabs between 4 drivers. Aaron Parsons slipped off a little bit. He's probably out of it. But between those 4 drivers, you can throw a blanket over them, Al. It's going to be great, these last couple of events. I'm definitely going to tune in.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, it definitely was a great race. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We're going to be back next Monday for round 11 from A1 ring. We'll be back on the air Thursday night in the GT cars as the circus travels to Brands Hatch, and that's going to be interesting. So hopefully you guys can tune in on Thursday starting at 9 p.m. Eastern for qualifying and the 200-kilometer race there. But until next week, thanks, Brad, and thanks everybody who tuned in tonight. Have a good night.